Okay, today we're talking about lesson 3.3, which means module 3, lesson 3. And your learning goal today is to be able to add fractions by creating equivalent fractions. Okay? If I have one orange and I'm going to add 2 oranges to it, what do I have altogether? 3 oranges. Okay. Oops. Well, I guess I'll type it. 3 oranges. If I have 1/4 plus 5/4, what do I have altogether? 6/4. Okay. If I have 2 apples and I add 3 apples to it, what do I have altogether? 5 apples. Okay. If I have 1/2 plus 3 halves, what do I have altogether?
4.
Yeah, 4 halves, which is the same as 2. Okay, good. Now, if I have 2 oranges plus 3 apples, what do I have altogether?
2 oranges and 3 apples.
Can I say I have 5?
Oranges.
Okay. You guys, I can't just say I have 5 or apples because those are different fruits. When I'm trying to add things together, I need to rewrite it in common terms. So what do oranges and apples have in common? They're both fruits. So could I say I have 5 fruits?
Yeah.
Okay. What about over here? If I'm going to add 1/4 plus 1/2, can I just add that together? No, I can't right now because they're not in common terms. Are the denominators the same? No. So what I need to do is, just like I had to do with the fruits, I have to rewrite these problems using common terms. 1/4 plus 1/2, we can model it like this, right? I can model it, I can draw 1/4, and this is what you're going to write in your notebook. You're going to draw exactly what you see on the board here. 1/4 over here, because I have a hole, and I've divided it into 4 sections, and I've shaded one of those 4 sections. And then I also have 1/2, okay? You'll notice I drew horizontal lines over here and a vertical line there. This is not the only way to do it, but for right now, I want you to draw it just like that. That 1/4 plus 1/2 is the same as how many eighths? 1/4 is the same as how many eighths? 2 eighths. And 1/2 is the same as how many eighths? 4 eighths. Now, are my denominators the same?
Yeah.
Both addends have a denominator of what? 8. So now are they in common terms? Yeah. Before, my denominators were different. I had a 4 and a 2. I wasn't ready. Those terms were not common. But now I've written equivalent fractions. I said 1/4 is equivalent to 2 eighths, and 1/2 is equivalent to 4 eighths. And now I have common terms in the denominator. So now I'm ready to add. If I have 2 eighths, I'm going to add 4 more eighths. How many eighths do I have altogether? 6 eighths. So therefore, 1/4 plus 1/2 equals 6 eighths. Now, 6 eighths is not what we call in simplest terms. When we write fractions, we always want to write them in simplest terms. You know a fraction is in simplest terms when you cannot divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number. Do 6 and 8 have a common multiple?
Yes.
Or common factor?
Yeah.
What is that common factor? 2. So I can divide the top by 2, and I can divide the bottom by 2. 6 divided by 2 is?
3.
And 8 divided by 2 is? 4. So we can say that this is 3/4. I'm going to ask you to hold on to your questions and comments for right now. In order to write equivalent fractions, we need to find the least common multiple, otherwise known as the LCM. Give me a thumbs up if you learned about the LCM before in 4th grade. Good. So today we're not only using the LCM, but we're using models to model it. Okay, you need to use both steps. The least common multiple. Least means what? Smallest. Common means what do we have in common? What do we share? And multiple means all the multiples of a number. So what you do is you take the first denominator, which is 3, and you list out all the multiples. So we count by 3. So help me count by 3. 3, and then what? 6, then what? 9, then what? Then what? Okay, let's stop there. Then we're going to take the next one, which is 4, and we're going to list out all the multiples. Help me. 4, and then what? 8, then what? 12, then what? Okay, now we're going to find the least one that they have in common. Tell me when we get to a number that's in common. 12. So they both have a least common multiple of 12. What that means is we can say 1/3 is equivalent to something over 12. right? And 1/4 is also going to be equivalent to something over 12. How can I figure out what numbers are missing? Well, I know that 3 times something equals 12. 3 times what equals 12? 4, which means I need to do 1 times 4, which is 4. So that means that 1/3 is equivalent to what? 4/12. We can do the same thing over here. 4 times something equals 12. 4 times what equals 12? 3. So therefore I do 1 times 3 equals 3. So 1/4 is equivalent to how many 12ths?
3 12.
So now can I rewrite this problem using common terms? What would my common terms be? What's my common denominator? 12. So I can rewrite it as 4/12 plus what? 3/12 to find my sum of 7/12. Now your challenge is to figure out how can you model this in the same way we modeled the previous problem. Okay, you're going to draw boxes and you're going to figure out how to model it. Go. Why do we always draw one of the rectangles with vertical lines and the other one with horizontal lines? Talk to your table group. Why do you think we always draw one with horizontal lines and one with vertical lines? Go. So the reason why we always draw one with vertical lines first and one with horizontal lines first is so that it becomes easier when we have to split up the boxes again. Okay? See if you can do this problem. What is 2/7 equivalent to how many 21s? 21sts? How many boxes are colored in there? How many? 6. Okay. And 2/3 is equivalent to how many 21s? 14, because I can also do 3 times 7 is 21, so 2 times 7. Good. So then 6 21sts plus 14 21sts is 20 21s. Good.